In this lecture series, under the subject of cost accounting, we are discussing about budgetary control. And in our discussion on budgetary control, we talked about various aspects of the budgetary control. And in my last lecture on budgetary control, I talked about flexible budget. I told you that what the flexible budget is, and with an example how the flexible budget is being prepared. This we discussed. In continuation of that, I'll also talk about how the flexible budget is being prepared, and if you recollect, what is flexible budget? I would say flexible budget is a series of budget which is being prepared for a different capacity level. What it means is that when you prepare fixed budget, that is, you prepare one budget, and if the actual performance, actual output does not matches with the budgeted capacity level or the budget which you have prepared for a particular level of output, if the actual output doesn't matches with that, then comparing that budget with the actual expenditure will become difficult or will not be fruitful. I hope you are getting my point, that supposing you are preparing the budget for 10,000 units and you say expenditure will be 1 lakh rupees. If the output is, actual output is 9,500 during the year, comparing the expenditure of 10,000 units with the actual output of 9,500 units will not be a good idea. So what we do, that we prepare series of budget. We prepared budget at different capacity level. Say if I say 10,000 is the 100% capacity level, so I'll also prepare for 9,000 level, I'll also prepare for 8,000 units level, I will also prepare for 7,000 units level, like that. So I said my actual output was 9,500 units and the budget which I prepared was for 10,000 units. So what I'll do, that I have two budgets in case of the flexible budget, budget which is for 90% capacity and budget which is for 10,000 capacity. So I'll calculate the expenditure of 10,000 capacity level budget and the 9,000 capacity level budget and make the average of it, because the output, actual output is 9,500. So whatever the expenditure as per the budget is, then that expenditure will be compared with the actual expenditure that has been incurred for producing 9,500 units. So what it means is that in the flexible budget, instead of preparing one budget, we prepare different budget at different capacity level, so that the comparison with the actual performance remains realistic and remains practical and it is easy to compare. For this purpose, flexible budget is being prepared. So friends, after talking of these theoretical aspects which we discussed previously also, let me directly come to the example. Last time also, in my last discussion on the flexible budget, I took a very small example, right, in which I focused that there are three aspects which must be taken into account while preparing the flexible budget. One is which expenses are fixed expenses, which expenses are variable expenses, and which of the expenses are semi-variable expenses. Because by now we know that fixed expenses or fixed cost will remain same. Whether I produce 10,000 units, I produce 9,000 units or 8,000 units, means whatever the capacity level is, up to a particular level of output and up to a period of time, it will remain same, right? Since budget is being prepared for a period of time, normally it is for 1 year or a quarter or 6 months. So we presume that all those fixed costs will remain same in that period of time. As far as the variable cost is concerned, we all know now that variable cost per unit will remain same. Unlike in economics, where there are increasing returns or decreasing returns, In cost accounting, we presume that variable cost per unit will remain same. It is only the total variable cost which will change with the change in the level of output. And as far as the semi-variable cost is concerned, it is partly fixed, partly variable. That is, some portion of it will remain fixed and some will be variable. So, in our practical example, we will see how we deal the semi-variable cost. In preparation of the variable in flexible budget, calculating the semi-variable cost is a very important aspect, because fixed cost will remain same, right? And as far as the variable cost is concerned, you will vary it in the same proportion in which your output will change. It is only the semi-variable cost which you will have to take into account, because all is not variable, all is not fixed, partly variable. So now let us understand how we prepare the flexible budget with the help of an example. I have taken a name of a company, say PK & Company, or any name you can say, produces 4,000 units per month of a certain product at 100% capacity. Means if the firm operates at 100% full utilization of its capacity, it will be able to produce 4,000 units. The information that is given to us is that in August 2,800 units is being produced, and in September 3,600 units is being produced. So what it means is that in the month of August, the firm is operating at 70% capacity level. Since 4,000 is equivalent to 100% capacity, so it obviously means that at 2,800 units level, the firm is operating at 70% capacity. And in the month of September, the production is 3,600 units. It means that firm must be operating at 90% capacity level, right? So 3,600 means 90% capacity level. Now the expenses are being given to you. Repair and maintenance 500 for August and 560 for September. Power 1,800 for August, 2,000 for September. Shop labor 700 for August, 900 for September. Consumable stores 1,400 for August, 1,800 for September. Salaries 1,000 for August, 1,000 for September also. So what you are noticing here, that salaries is not changing whether we are producing 2,800 units or you are producing 3,600 units, the salaries remain same. It means it is a fixed cost. Inspection 200, 240 rupees in the month of August and September respectively. It is changing. Depreciation 1,400 and 1,400. Both the months the depreciation is same. It means depreciation is also a fixed cost. So what you note here is there are two expenses which are fixed: salaries and depreciation. So it will not change whatever the level of output of which we will prepare the flexible budget. Rate of production per hour is 10 units. Direct material cost per unit is ₹1 and direct wages per hour is ₹4. That is, whatever the number of units you will produce, whatever the number of hours you will work, for that each hour the wages is ₹4 per hour. That is a hourly wage, right? And it takes 10 units, 1 hour 10 units are being produced. Direct material cost is ₹1. That is 1 per unit is the variable cost, it will change. So what we have to do, that we have to compute the cost of production at 80% level, 100% level and 60% level. What we are being given is, we are given two cost of 70% and 90%. At 70% we are producing 2,800 units, right? At 100%, at 90% we are producing 3,600. So we have to make flexible budget, means we have to prepare three budgets. One at 100% capacity level, the other at 80% capacity level, and third one is at 60% capacity level, right? Showing the variable, fixed and semi-variable items under the flexible budget. The part number 2 of our example is that find out the overhead absorption rate per unit of at 80% capacity. Friends, if you recollect, when we discussed about overheads, about absorption rate, so how you calculate absorption rate? Total overheads divided by the basis, right? So total overhead cost divided by, if we are calculating on the basis of the production, so I'll say total overhead divided by number of units produced, that will be the absorption rate of the per unit, right? So these are the two things which we have to find out. That is, first we have to prepare flexible budget at 3 different capacity level. Secondly, we have to find out absorption rate, right? Mainly in this example, the focus is on preparation of the flexible budget. Now let's discuss it. While preparing the flexible budget, you first calculate all the variable cost. Friends, in the cost accounting, not only the calculations are important, not only the figures are important, but the presentation is as important as the calculations are, in the sense that in cost accounting, we must present the figures in a proper manner, right? So what we do in the flexible budget, let's take one by one all variable cost. In our example, in the question part itself, it was given direct material. DM means direct material. It is given that it is at 1 rupee per unit. So since you are being asked to prepare budget at 3 different levels, 100% capacity level, 80% capacity level and 60% capacity level. In our example, in the beginning of this example, we said, while in the question part, we said that 4,000 units is the 100% capacity. So 80% means 3,200 units and 60% means 2,400 units. 400 is equal to 10%. So you multiply 400 into 80, 400 into 8 or 400 into 6, that will give you the what will be the production at 80% and 60% and 100%. Now, since the material cost is 1 rupee per unit, PU means per unit. So I will say when we are producing 4,000, 100% capacity, 4,000 rupees. When we are producing 80%, 3,200 units, 3,200 rupees. And when we are producing 60%, 2,400 rupees. That is 1 rupee. That is unit multiplied by per unit cost. That gives you the variable cost of direct material. Similarly, direct wages. In our question part, we said the direct wages is 4 rupees per hour, right? And in 1 hour, 10 units were being produced. So what it means is that when you are producing 4,000 units, it means that labor must have worked for 400 hours, because in 1 hour, 10 units are being produced. So how many hours will it take to the workers to produce 4,000 units? So I'll simply say 400, right? And the labor hour rate is 4 rupees per hour. Friends, please don't see that these figures are 4 rupees per hour is not a practical figure. Intentionally, while explaining to you, we take small figures so that the calculation parts remain easy, right? So don't go by that practical 4 rupees per hour is not a practical labor hour rate, right? So these figures are just imaginary, just to make you understand that how our purpose is to understand how the flexible budget is being prepared. So once again, I'm repeating that 4,000 units takes, 10 rupees, 10 units are being produced in 1 hour, right? So it takes 400 hours of the workers to produce 4,000 units multiplied by 4 rupees, 1,600 rupees. Similarly, for 3,200 units, right? So 320 hours multiplied by 4 rupees, 2,400 units, right? 240 hours multiplied by 4. That comes to be 960. So in this way, we have calculated direct wages. Shop labor. What we do whenever we are talking of variable cost, simply the total cost divided by number of units produced. That will give you per unit cost. As you can notice there in our example, we have calculated per unit shop labor. So the per unit cost is 25 paisa per unit. The shop labor cost is 25 paisa per unit for producing 4,000, 1,000 rupees, for producing 3,200 units, 800 rupees, for producing 2,400 units, 600 rupees. Similarly, see, a question may come at this point in your mind, how will you be able to identify variable cost, fixed cost, semi-variable cost? In the example, the costs which are given, if those costs are varying in the same proportion in which the output is varying, it means it is a variable cost. If the cost is not changing, it means it is a fixed cost, right? And if the cost which is changing, but it is neither fixed nor changing in the same proportion as the output is changing, then it means it is a semi-variable cost. I am repeating what I said. Friends, while preparing the flexible budget, if you are being given an examination like situation to prepare a flexible budget, right, what you have to see, how you will identify, a question comes in your mind that how I will identify which are fixed costs, which are variable, which are semi-variable, or right. So I will simply say the cost which is not changing is fixed, cost which is changing in the same proportion in which the output is changing, it is a variable cost, right? And if it is changing not in the same proportion, right, then but it is changing, it is not fixed. Unlike fixed cost, it is not fixed, but it is changing, but not in the same proportion. Then in that case, it is presumed as semi-variable cost. So the consumable stores is also changing in the same proportion in which the output is changing. This you can verify from the example, the questions, right? So at 4,000 units, the cost is 50 paisa per unit, so that comes to be 2,000 rupees, right? So you may say, how I will able to identify? Because in our example at the question time that we have given, at 2,800 rupees the cost is 1,400. At 3,600 units level the cost is 3,600 divided by 2, that comes to be 1,800. So obviously it means that when we will produce 3,200 units, 50 paisa per unit is the cost, 1,600 rupees. So is for the 60% capacity level, 50 paisa multiplied by 2,400 units. Then comes semi-variable cost. In our example, there are 3 semi-variable costs. Friends, this is very important to understand how we calculate semi-variable cost at different capacity level. Let me put this in a simplistic manner, that first of all you identify out of the total cost that is given, how much is variable and how much is fixed. Like if in a question part you are being given that this part, say for example power, right, 2,800 units the power cost is 1,800. At 3,600 level the power cost is 2,000. So how I will identify how much is fixed, how much is variable? So I will simply say the change in cost divided by change in output, that will be the variable cost, because we all know that, and I just said also, that the variable cost will change in the same proportion in which the output will change. So the change in cost is 200 rupees power cost, and the change in output is 800 units. At 2,800 units in the month of August, and in the month of September 3,600. What is the change in output? Change in output is 800 units. What is the change in power cost? Only 200 rupees, 1,800 to 2,000. So I will simply say what is the variable component. In this, the variable component is change in cost divided by change in output. So 200 divided by your 800, that comes to be 25 paisa per unit, right? So when you will talk of this power cost, when you are producing 4,000 units, in this the 25 paisa per unit is the variable component, rest is fixed component. So at 2,800 level, 700 rupees is a fixed cost and the remaining part is fixed. So 2,800 units level, right? So 700 minus the total cost minus the 700, that will be the variable component. So variable component is 25 paisa per unit. So here at the 4,000 units, 1,000 is the variable component and 1,100 is fixed, right? So power cost is 2,100. Similarly, you can calculate for 3,200 units. So 3,200 units multiplied by 25 paisa, that comes to be 800 rupees. So 800 plus your fixed cost component. How much is your fixed cost component? 1,100 rupees. So it comes to be 1,900, right? Similarly, you can calculate for 60% capacity. 2400 units multiplied by 0.25, right? That comes to be 600 plus 1100 is a fixed component, that comes to be rupees 1700. The way you have calculated power, in the same manner, friends, you can calculate for inspection and repair and maintenance. Again, I am repeating, a question will come in your mind, how you will have identified that whether it is a variable or semi-variable cost. My answer is simple, that in the example, in the question part, if the cost is not changing in the same proportion in which the output is changing, it means I will call it a semi-variable cost. So, for inspection also, simply change in cost divided by change in output. So, what you can see, what is the inspection cost? 200 rupees for 2800 units and 240 rupees for 3600 units. So, I will say 40 divided by your change in units, that is 800 units. So, that is your variable component, rest is your fixed component. Fine. So, you have, in this way you have calculated, the way you have calculated for power in the similar manner, exactly in the similar manner, that is change in cost divided by change in output, that is the variable component and rest is fixed component. So, 260 rupees is your semi-variable cost for 4000 units and 220 rupees is your cost for 3200 units. And then comes repair and maintenance. Again, friends, for repair and maintenance also, the criteria and the methodology is same, the change in cost divided by change in output. So, from the question part, when the cost is given of 2800 units and 3600 units, what is the change in that cost of repair and maintenance at that level? Divide by change in the output. Change in output is in our example is 800 units. So, that is your per unit repair and maintenance expenses, and rest is all fixed, right? So, that gives you repair and maintenance expenses. So, at different capacity level, 590 rupees is your repair and maintenance for 4000 units. For 3200 units, it is 530, and for 2400 units, it is 470. So, you have calculated the variable cost component, semi-variable cost component. The two components we have calculated in part A, we have calculated variable cost. In part B, friends, we have calculated semi-variable cost. Now, if you recollect while seeing your question, let's see this question again. What you are finding is depreciation cost is not changing. That whether you are producing 2800 units, the depreciation cost is 1400, and when you are producing 3600 units, your depreciation cost is same 1400. It means with the change in the output, your depreciation is not changing. It means, it implies that it is a fixed cost. Same is case with the salaries. Whether you produce 2800 or you produce 3600 units, salaries is same 1000 rupees, right? Let's see, is there any other expense? No, all other expenses are varying. When you are producing 2800, when you are producing 3600, all other expenses other than your salaries and depreciation are changing. It means only salaries and depreciation are your fixed expenses, your fixed cost in this example. Now, in this, I have taken variable cost, I have taken semi-variable cost, and finally, we will be talking of the fixed cost. So, the third component is fixed cost. So, salaries 1000, whether you produce 70% capacity level, whether you produce 90% capacity level, or in our example, we are preparing the budget of 100%, 80%, 60%, salary will remain same 1000 rupees. So is the case for depreciation, right? So at all levels, depreciation cost is same 1400. So this is part C. We have calculated total fixed cost, and our objective is to find out the total budgeted cost at different capacity level. So what I'll do, I'll add up part A, part B and part C. That is the variable cost, fixed, semi-variable cost and fixed cost. So the summation of the three will give me the total budgeted cost at different capacity level, which comes to be 13,950 rupees at 100% capacity level, 11,930 rupees at 80% capacity level, and 9,910 rupees at 60% capacity level, right? So friends, while you total, you must mention, I have not shown here, but you must mention rupees, right? So what this 13,950 are, whether it is units, whether it is rupees. So in your examination situation, you must mention here the rupees, right? Rupees this much, rupees this much, rupees this much, right? So this is just the flexible budget, and the other part of this is that now we know the total of the per unit cost. So 4,000 units, 13,950 is the total cost, and 4,000 units at the production level. So per unit cost is 3.49. Similarly, you can calculate for 80% capacity level, right? So 11,930 divided by 3,200 units, that is 3.73. At 2,400 units, the total cost is 9,910. So 9,910 divided by 2,400, it comes to be 4.13. See friends, again a question will come in your mind, why we have prepared 3 budgets? We have prepared 3 budgets. Suppose in an actual life, the output is 80% capacity, right? So what I'll do, I have 5 different budgets. Output at 70% level, 90% level, 100% level, 80%, 60% level. Supposing you are preparing only 3 budgets of 80%, 80%, 80%, 60% and 100%. And my actual output is 80%. So what I'll do, this budgeted cost will be compared with the actual cost of 80% capacity level. Means, well, actual production takes place, the production is of 3,200 units. So I'll not compare the cost of 4,000 units with 3,200 units. I'll compare the budgeted cost of the 3,200 units with the actual output of 3,200 units. So that will be more realistic. Supposing the output is 90% and we have not prepared budget at 90% capacity level. So I'll add up the cost at 100% capacity level and cost at 80% level. So 13,950 plus 11,930, right? Divide by 2, the average of the 2, 90%. I am presuming it. Supposing we have not prepared at the time of preparing the flexible budget, we had not prepared at 90% capacity level. So what I'll do is that I'll add up these 2 and make the average of it, that will make average cost at 90%. And I'll compare this cost with the actual cost where the production is at 90% level, right? So this is the way we prepare the flexible budget. And the last part, the second part of this example is prepared absorption rate. So what is the absorption rate? Total overheads divided by per units. So what is total overheads in this example is total cost minus direct material minus direct wages, right? TC means direct cost, total cost, DM means direct wages, direct material, and DW means direct wages. So in your total cost, your overhead cost is equal to total cost minus direct material, direct labor. So 11,930, which is the cost at 80% capacity level, minus 3,200 direct material and 1,280 at direct wages minus, right? So this comes to be 7,450. What it means is that overhead costs are 7,450, right? And overhead rate per unit is 7,450 divided by the production at 80% level. The production at 80% level is 3,200 units, right? So 7,450 divided by number of units produced, that is 3,200, that comes to be 2.33. So this is overhead absorption rate, right? So in this way, this is not part of the flexible budget, this is just a tail which has been added in our example that calculate overhead absorption rate, right? So this is the methodology of preparing the flexible budget. I am sure you will able to prepare flexible budget whenever you are being asked to, if you follow this method. Thank you very much.